I am not getting rained on. I am surprised. It rained off and on all the way here. I'm prepared though. I got me a cheap little poncho. I'm gonna need to get me something better. This is rainy season. Hey Hitzel, Trish said something about us going out soon. I'm not gonna say when. Are we still thinking about doing that? I know I should have checked my email, but I didn't. Huh. Are the doors open? Someone been here already? Oh, they're open. I think. Oh, we got 6 people. Ooh, that's quick. It's a little misty today. The rain doesn't bother me.
$2, ma'am.
No, I don't carry cash, sir. I never have cash. Even when I need cash, I don't have cash. If I ever go visit Japan, I'm going to be lost because they still use cash. Alright, I got things in my hand, so I can't check the chat. It likes to disappear. Oh, good. I was wondering where I might go if it does start to rain. And there's an overhang right here. Rain harder. Should I hit him with freeloader debt? Let's see. Let me check the chat. Nope. And the foundation. Let's do that. Let's hit him with freeloader debt. Watch this. Freeloader debt is not enforceable in the real world. A church cannot collect a debt on church services. Swinging around. SPTVfoundation.org. They're ex-members that created a foundation to help people like you get out. They will help you financially. Those do look like RPF outfits. SPTVfoundation.org. They will help you get out and get an apartment and a job that you don't have to work 100 hours a week. They're ex-members just like you, ex-Sea Org, ex-staff. They know what you're going through. They pulled that door good, didn't they? All right, let's get set up. Let's see. It's raining. I liked over here by the tree. I'm going to start with the tree, and I was thinking about if I see a lot of people coming in and out, which I notice they don't till I'm about ready to leave. I need to, if we ever get our second vehicle working correctly, I'm going to come later, because it looks like they do more later. All right, I'm getting set up, y'all. All right, so look away. I'll probably shake, because I like to come before I set up. My tripod is mostly set up, except for one section so I can carry it. And the people at Peace Place are probably like, ooh, wonder what she's doing. Because I always set up right outside there. Alright, let's see. Here we go. Alright. Hopefully that's low enough. Alrighty. No, I'm not wearing my army stuff today. I should have, because if I had gotten wet, those pants were very wide, so they wouldn't have been stuck to me if I got wet. it stays misty. I don't mind a little bit of water. SPTVfoundation.org. They're ex-members, ex-staff, ex-RPF, ex-Sea Org. They know what you're going through, and they're willing to get you out. You can come out right now, and I will take you to the airport or wherever you want to go, and I'll get you a plane ticket home. I'm sure your family misses you, especially the ones you've had to disconnect from, which is inhumane. No other church on the planet makes you disconnect from family members who aren't part of the church. No other church on the planet closes up their doors and blinds just because someone's outside. No other church costs $150,000 to go up a bridge to a certain level. You go and you worship and you have fun together and you get to go home and be with your family, and you can think thoughts that you want to think. You can look at things on the internet you want to look at. You can have friends and family that aren't part of the church. That's the way my church is, and I've been a member of quite a few in my lifetime. And never have I heard about the things that you guys have to do. When my kids didn't want to go to church anymore when they turned 18, they just stopped going. And nobody went after them for it. Nobody poisoned their dog. Nobody hired a private investigator to follow them. Nobody went through their trash. Nobody followed them around town, see who they were talking to. None of that. No other organization, not even church, organization, except maybe the CIA. They might follow you and look at your trash. But they're not a church. Oh Lord, just pray for me not to get hit by lightning. That's all I ask. I don't want to get hit by lightning. I haven't seen any, but you never know. Let's move up. I want to get under the tree. There we go. That's better. I'm not getting so wet. Who all's here today? That door is cracked. They can hear me. You would think the powers that be would be like, oh, we need to fix that. But it's okay. We like it. I'm pretty loud. Honestly, those doors should be closed and they'd still hear me. They still hear me and they still hear person on me. I'm going to have to invest in a raincoat. All I have is an emergency rain poncho. But that's okay. As long as it stays misty, I'm good. I like it. I like a little bit of rain. That's why I always said I love to live in Oregon. I would love it. David Miscavige drives a $240,000 car while you guys make $200 a week. He wears $5,000 Italian handmade shoes, while Sea Org makes $50 a week. And those of you on the RPF, which whatever they call it now, because they tell the world that they disbanded the RPF and they no longer punish people like that, yet they do. So why do they have to lie? Why do you guys have to close up? What am I going to say they don't want you to hear? Yeah, I had too much caffeine on the way here. Let me cover the mic. Did that help with the siren? Because sometimes I had a phone once that had the mic at the bottom and a mic up near the earpiece, which was confusing to me. Carrie, what's up? What's up, yo? Oh, we're just having fun at the Austin Org today. Gonna talk about a few things going on in the Scientology world, which most people know about, because I think everybody watches Aaron. But I am here. I listened to it. It came on right when I was, well, right after I left the house. Oh, man. Hang on, I gotta get... Oh, I forgot to put a patch on my back today, a lidocaine patch. So I'm gonna put one on right now, because I carry one with me. Luckily, y'all can't see me. Ooh, it's misty and windy. I like it. It's because they said it was going to be 81 today, and if it was, or if it is, that's muggy weather. It doesn't feel like 81 to me. Just give me a minute. So, Aaron, I cannot believe Grant Cardone filed a defamation lawsuit knowing there's going to be discovery. I think he's puffing out his chest. I think he's going to be just like David Miscavige. And when it comes right to the wire, he's going to drop it for some stupid reason. Because he can't afford to. The first thing they're going to ask is, what's your income? Show us your income. Show us that you're a billionaire. And he's not going to be able to do it. And all those people that are going to come out and say that he's a fraud, he can't handle that kind of publicity. I think he's puffing out his chest, thinking the other guy might back down. Yeah, this is fun, putting on. Okay, with that. Hold on, I'm concentrating on my patch here. I'm not getting on right. Oh, it's too high. That's alright. They don't really work that well. I had these anti-inflammatory patches that had anti-inflammatory medicine in them, and they worked great for my lower back. And last year, TRICARE decided to stop covering them. They even took them out of the on-base hospital pharmacy. And I can't afford them. My copay was ridiculous. Full price, I think they're $300 and something a month. Hi, Lorraine. Whew. Let's see, what else? Your leader gets sushi driven to him over an hour when he's at the INT base while you guys eat beans and rice. I don't know how far they have to drive it now. Doesn't he have a favorite restaurant he gets it from? Freeloader debt is not enforceable. A church cannot come after you for church services. Oh, yeah, my sign's up. My poor sign's getting... Pitzel, you're going to have to fix this sign when you get it. Poor thing. He gets thrown around my truck a lot. Not by me. I try to be nice with it. But... Oh yeah, of course. Fast too. Because I didn't even bother, you know, I come around the corner and I start before I get ready. I know, Carrie. Us. I don't know. They were expensive, I understand, but I would have been willing to pay for half because they worked that good. And even my doctor was mad, my pain doctor. He was like, they don't do the same thing. Lidocaine patches and anti-inflammatory patches don't do the same thing. And they work. Matter of fact, did I go on Lyrica before or after the patches? Because the patches were really helping my lower back where my injured discs were. What? Oh. A bird just pooped on the top of my backpack. And that probably happened down at the pizza place. I was setting up under the tree and there's bird doo-doo everywhere. I don't know why there's no birds here in these little trees. They love that tree by the pizza. I got a little bit of bird doo-doo on top of my backpack. I guess it's getting washed. David Miscavige wears handmade suits while you guys wear the same thing for days. Actually, I don't know how many outfits they get. And you know what? Those two people in black do look like RPF, or whatever they call it now. Because I used to think they were wearing something nice, like a nice dress shirt and a nice pair. But I looked at them real close. If you go back to the beginning, I was closer than I normally am. And I looked at them a bit harder. And, oh, I didn't think I didn't grab a jacket because it was supposed to be 81 today. Kind of need one. I'll be alright. I like to be cold. Yeah, sounds about right. Well, they're not allowed. They can't buy soap or deodorant, so do. Yeah, I was in the Army. And when somebody in basic training or anywhere, didn't have good hygiene, they got shown how to have good hygiene. Because we didn't want to smell them. Especially when you're in the sand in June, July, and August. So I kind of get an idea what that might be like. But not near what it really is. I just have an inkling. Ooh, it's raining good now. I think my phone will be fine. You know, I wasn't going to stand out here if it rained good. So I was going to bring a baggie to like put over my phone. Because they say they're water resistant, but you never know. But I should be fine. Actually, I do have a baggie in there. I'm only going to worry about it if it like really rains. Because the camera is under the tree. I'm okay till the wind, it doesn't get on me until the wind whips up. Let me show you. Oh, everything's wet. Yeah. It's been raining a lot today. The reason I never cancel is because in 70 miles, the weather can be completely different. Like I can drive through rain most of the way here and it be sunny here. And when I looked at the weather, it said between 12 and 4, it was a low chance of rain, which really, yesterday, the reason I had to postpone to today, we had thunderstorm warnings. And I don't want to get electrocuted by lightning. So, I want to be here, not that bad. I've said before, my ex-stepmom, she got hit by lightning. She worked for the gas company. She was outside. And it was only overcast. It wasn't raining or anything like that. And she got hit by lightning. She was never the same. And I'm already kind of weird, so I don't need any help. People used to try to get me to take drugs and stuff. I go, look at me. Do I look like somebody that needs drugs? I am weird enough by myself. I don't need help. Give me some things to yell. I got 2 hours sleep again, so I'm zoning a little bit. I did freeloader debt. I did, you drive the Bentley and you make $200 a week. I said the handmade Italian shoes and you make $50 a week. Depending on, oh, I shouldn't have eaten before I came here. I usually don't eat, and this is why. I got tummy cramps. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Tammy, thanks. Yeah, I'm a bit motivated today. I was a little bit early to be, surprisingly. I always add a good chunk of time to what I think it's going to be because of traffic. There was an accident, but it detoured me well. I had a friend whose nephew from a storm that 50 miles away. Yeah. There's been people that got hit by lightning and it wasn't even overcast. Lightning's unpredictable, so I'm hoping it'll hit the light pole or the tree before me. And my tripod's plastic, so I'm not really, well, oh wow, I just realized something. I'm standing on a metal grate that's around the tree. See, like the one over there? Hold on. See that big metal grate over there? That's what I'm standing on over here. Maybe I should bring a rubber mat. Because I like standing here, it protects me. I have the bench, my wagon, and the tree, and my tripod making like a U shape around me. So there's only one way they can get to me, and that's from the street. And I'm sideways, so I can kind of see that out of my peripheral. After what happened to Pearl Snappy. And you know, the other day, I think 2 lives ago, some guy, he walked by. He's a guy that usually is pretty cool with me. He told me his name before, and he hates Scientology. So he went up and he turned off the radio. And I mean, as soon as he hit it, it's like they saw him come in on the camera, because they ran out and turned it back on and yelled at him. So then he attacked the sign and kicked it and threw it and stuff. Kind of like the guy did, oh, sorry guys. Kind of like the guy did with Pearl Snappy. And then when I saw on Pearl Snappy's video, him walking away with the backpack, I mean, there's a lot of people with backpacks around here, but that guy, 8 times out of 10, has a backpack on. So, well, if anything happens to me, y'all, call 911, tell them Austin, Texas, at the corner of Guadalupe and 22nd. If I get struck by lightning, y'all can help me out. Princess Honey Badger, thank you. Lightning can travel through the tree and ground and get you. I knew 2 teens who passed that way years ago. They'd been out playing soccer and children. Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I may make this a short live then. Now y'all got me stressing. Oh, really stressing. I'll be honest, Texas likes lightning. We get the weirdest sideways lightning. We had some good thunder yesterday and last night. Let's see. How much is minimum wage here now? I know up near me it's the minimum, but I think some cities have gone up. I don't want to yell in people's ears. You can get a job out here and make more than $200 a week for 40 hours a week instead of 80 a week. If you want to leave, you can come out right now. We'll go. I'll get you a plane ticket to wherever you have family or friends, or anywhere you want to go. Of course, I'd probably have to ask the foundation for some help on that one. It wasn't trying to be a downer. I just don't want anyone to feel safe when they're not. Lightning is no joke. I know. But I thought it was going to clear it. It said between noon and 4 the storms were going to be gone, but I guess it's still overcast and misty. Oh, this is why I don't eat before I go on. I was early and I was at the pizza place where I stop and tinkle and get a bottle of water. And then I looked at the clock and I'm like, you know what, let me have a piece of pizza. And I knew better. Need a little stand-up sign to put under the tree, free personality test, saying nothing is free. That's a good one. I might do that. I might do that. I might get one of those chalk signs that look like that you can chalk stuff on, because I can't get down on the ground and chalk. My body just can't do it. If I got down there, I'd never get back up. Dreamscape. We were on somewhere last night, and I was popping in everybody's. So I didn't go to sleep till 2:30 because I was watching Everybody by Big Blue and switching over to Lapu. And then by the time I turned them off and got wound down, it was 2:30. Then my dogs, I got more than 2 hours, woke me up at 5, wanting to go out. I go out of my room, and my big dog had the runs all over the kitchen. That was fun. So then I was awake till 9. And then I took a nap for a couple hours, and then I hurried. Hey, it's Pearl Snappy. What's up? How's it going over there? Looks super fun. Yeah, I was wondering if we could try to do something like they're doing over there. They just have so many more people. So it's earlier for. Oh, sorry about the yawn, guys. Oh, my goodness.
I'm so hungry. I gotta eat.
David Miscavige drives a Bentley, and you guys eat beans and rice and make $50 a week. Make that make sense. Thanks, Pearl Snappy. I learned everything from you. From the hat, because I was like, yeah, hat makes sense. It's sunny. I don't want to get sunburned. Then the tripod. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Don't have to hold my camera. Then I was like, carrying this crap. And then I was like, duh, when I saw you with a wagon. I was like, duh. We've always wanted one for camping, loading up the camper, so we got it. It's 2 for. Thanks. Text me how long you'll be gone and if there's any evenings that I should be here for. Just so they don't miss you too much. Because they have figured out my schedule. It's just the way it is. Once we get our second vehicle fixed, last summer melted wires in our small SUV. So if we had 2 vehicles, I could come and stay however long I want. I wouldn't be on a schedule. So hopefully we'll get that done soon. We didn't need 2 vehicles until February, so it wasn't that big a deal. SBTVFoundation.org, they're members like you that have gotten together to help you get out. Styling with his sunglasses. Give him a call. Okay. Thanks, Pearl. And I've also thought about, I did walk around campus one time, but it just so happened to be a day where they're having some big to-do on campus to see if I could see anybody walking around giving out Scientology flyers or anything. I didn't see anything. But I saw, they're probably doing it later in the day too, when classes are starting to be over. So I might do a walk around later in the day. See if I can walk up on them. That would be fun. Yeah. I did go on the speedway, but it was early. And like I said, it was when the seniors were getting their class rings. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I don't know nothing about that stuff. I thought somebody was getting engaged. Somebody was taking a picture with a ring. And her ring didn't look like a class ring. So I was like, finally I asked somebody and I was like, oh, that makes sense. So if they were going that day, they probably were waiting. But yeah, I need to go try to do that on a better day than today. Probably Saturday. I'm coming tomorrow. I would think they would try to be out on campus on Saturday, maybe. I wish we had somebody on campus. If you know anybody, Pearl Snappy, we need somebody on campus that can tell us, hey, they're here. Actually, there's a girl that stopped and talked to me, and she emailed me. She's a student, and she even said she was trying to get some students together to come out with us. I'll contact her, and maybe she can give me the heads up. I think if she saw him, she probably would have emailed me by now. Tim Harrison. Damn, there in Austin, gonna be some wet duckies there. Yep. Yep. It's just misty, so I like it. I like a little bit of rain. I'm just a little stressed about lightning because I should move. I'm standing on a big metal grate. I'm gonna move. Let's do this. Alright, that at least gets my feet off the metal. Martha Simmons, hello. Brian, hello. Good to see you. Been trying to tell them they can make more money if they come out here. I made more money than them delivering pizzas. Oh, they're here. Somewhere. Carrie. I'm in the middle. When I looked at the weather, it was like thunderstorms before 12 and thunderstorms after 4 and then partly cloudy right now. So. Yeah. It does. No, their lights are on. I think it's just because it's overcast out here. So it probably looks a bit darker on the, we don't have the glare. We're getting quite a bit of mist right now. But yesterday was worse. There's no way I could come yesterday. It was thunderstorm warnings. Big exclamation points. Don't go to Austin. And it was all the way from where I live down here and up where, so all the way from Waco to Austin because we had to check the weather for hubby before he goes to work. So he can, because he's outside all night. Well, half the night. If they take your passport, it's illegal. That makes it human trafficking. If you're under the age of consent, it makes it child trafficking. You might want to check on that. You're probably doing something illegal. I'm hoping that people that are in there that, you know how they don't know what's going on with the rest of Scientology? They only know what they see. You know, they may have seen some things here and there, but maybe don't know exactly what's going on everywhere. So I'm hoping it'll make them think, well, why are they taking their passport? So I watched Aaron's live today about the lawsuit, and then I watched Rabbit. I think her show's from yesterday or the day before. She does a little bit of recaps on different things, but she hit the Kent thing and all of that. And I SPTVfoundation.org. Give them a call. Check them out. So I ordered the Dianetics book on eBay, and I found out by looking it up that there's two versions. There's LRH's version, and then 2007, David Miscavige reissued it and added the modern science of man or something like that. And he changed a few things. And I found on Reddit somebody had put in, I didn't read through it yet, all the things that had been changed. So I made sure I got a pre-2007. I think my copy's from the 80s. And I could only find paperback. So they did have the green hardbound editions and stuff, but whoosh, it was going to be like $60. I'm like, yeah, no. Oh, I'm not going to spend more than $10 on this thing. I think I spent $7. So I'm going to read through the first chapter, and once I can get me a spot somewhere at home that I can sit and live stream, I was just, because everybody's really kind of curious about it, even though people say it's really stupid, but I just hear it talked about so much, and so many people came into Scientology through that book. I would just want to see why, and I don't want to make other people go through it, so I'm just gonna read each chapter and then highlight some things and just kind of do a brief synopsis about it. And I thought it might be interesting for people, other people like me that's curious about it. And I got it used so they won't get any money from me for it. Looks like it was in somebody's attic for a while. But the last, I wanted to talk about Aaron's show, I think it was last night, where he was discussing who knew what when, how many people knew about Kent and Mike Rinder and all of that. And it's just, that stuff's getting out of hand. It smells so much like another cover-up. And my husband even was kind of half listening, and I just said, you know, you can't trust anybody anymore. I'm like, you can't trust anybody that says they're advocates for child SA or children and expect them to do the right thing. Nobody is anymore. It's just it's depressing on some notes, but then just makes me more angry on others. So now we've got Scientology that we're after for child trafficking and child abuse and not advocating for the children under their care and their people. And now we have Child USA that's supposed to be doing that, and they're not. Instead, they're all worried about covering their own asses instead of doing the right thing. And it's always the case, always. You can't look at any organization anymore and anybody anymore that looks like they're trying to be a good person and do the right thing, but in the public eye, and then you find out that's not the way they really are. I mean, I figured that out about Hollywood a long time ago. That just because they're a celebrity doesn't make them a great person. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I get that she's trying to stay neutral, partly because she's in between and she cares about everybody, and partly because Mike Rinder's part of her case. So I can understand it to a point, but she better say something after her case. And I hope she's put Mike through the ringer over it, because there is no logical reason for these people to have not told the right people, or not have outed Kent, or not have shouted from the rooftops about this look back window. That's the biggest black eye they've all got in Mike Rinder. Because even if Mike Rinder didn't tell anybody, why didn't Child USA contact people, ex-Scientologists, and say, hey, we got this look back window started, are you aware? Because they know most of Scientology is in LA, a large portion, or they've been there at one time or another, and they know about, they have to know about the ranch, and they have to know about the Sea Org, and they have to know about the RPF and all the things that happen to these kids. It just makes me angry.
Is this for or against Scientology?
Against.
Yeah.
My sign says it's a cult. No, I'm pro Scientology because I like cults. Just kidding. But yeah, I sit and I watch these. Now I'm a little bit more mellow about it. But when I'm watching it, my husband's sitting there and I'm yelling. I'm like, I cannot believe this. And my husband's angry too. When I explained to him what the look back window was, and the fact that only one lawsuit was brought in Scientology, and that was only because her lawyers did it, not because she or anyone else in Scientology knew about it or told her about it. And she probably assumed others knew about it. Because I'm wondering why maybe she didn't tell somebody, but you know, I don't know that person, so. But that's the most heinous part, really. The most heinous part is that they sat on that information. And he knew about that information when Aaron was still on the board, when they were still all on the board together and still speaking, still somewhat getting along. And he didn't just, I don't know, email Aaron and say, hey man, there's this look back window. You might want to let people know. Or did he do a blog on it? Has anyone found a blog that Mike Rinder did discussing the look back window? They may have announced it on Child USA, but how many ex-Scientologists know, or ex-victims know, to go look at Child USA? I didn't even know they existed till this stuff happened. Princess Honey Badger, not pressing for cases to get started during the look back window is indefensible. Exactly, it's not defensible at all. There is no reason at all that makes sense. I mean, we all have our theories, and I'm kind of glad. I've always had a ew feeling with Mike Rinder. Just have. I mean, but I had assumed early on, because, you know, I've only been involved in this since maybe 2022. And so I knew, because I've never watched the Aftermath show, and I never watched Going Clear. I've just watched the YouTube channel. I've gotten so much information that way that I didn't feel the need to go watch documentaries. I know people have watched those documentaries, and that's brought them in. or brought them and got them interested. Well, I was already interested through, I got Aaron on my feed one day, and I binge watched for a year. Not even a whole year. And then he started bringing all these people on his channel. Maybe not start, I don't know. He started going live in 2023, and I was already caught up on his videos by then and able to branch out and watch other people. And I just had assumed they talked about who he was. You know, you get bits and pieces here and there. You don't get like a whole story sometimes. And from what I had gotten from different things that were said was, okay, he got out. He was producer on the show. He's had a blog. He's on the Aftermath Foundation. They're all friends. They're all seem to be wanting to go after Scientology. So I had assumed he had, and about how he was fair game so badly. That the stuff that they did to him to fair game him. And you're like, oh, that's sad. That's terrible. You had assumed it was because he was speaking out so loudly, and sptvfoundation.org. Yeah, isn't that the RPF, or is that the plainclothes? They're all trying to, oh good, they're going in, watch this. I don't think they're members. I hope they're not.
Scientology's a cult. They're animals.
What was I saying? Okay, my point. I had assumed he had apologized. I had assumed he had done his making amends, journey with people. At least with the main people he was with on the board and all this other stuff, that he'd been like, oh, man, I'm really sorry. And then I find out, no, not really. Not really. Everybody just kind of gave him a pass and said, okay, well, you escaped and you've been on the producer on the show and Leah Remini's giving you her blessing. Okay, everything must be fine. Until SPTV pops off and more eyes are on it, and more eyes are on him than his little blog that I don't even know if he did once a week. I just assumed he hadn't done more because, the YouTube thing was kind of new last year. And so at first I was a bit dumbfounded at his behavior until it started, and the more that he started, I don't know what the word is I want, dissing people. The more that he started attacking people, the more he started speaking out on his own behalf somehow or whatever, the worse he looked, the more people realized, hey, wait a minute, and started looking at him through a magnifying glass. And it's not looking well for him. And all along way back in the chat, a lot of us were like, yeah. But, Aaron and Nora and all of them were still kind of, they didn't have a problem with him yet. So, and they all thought, he had helped with the show, so he's really trying to bring down Scientology. But other than that, they're saying that, and I haven't looked back in this whole past. I could be wrong. This is just what I know, what I think I know. But from the little bit that I've been glimpsing, that no, other than, and while we're finding out from people on that show that even being the producer on that show kind of put him in control of that show, and he decided what was going to go in the shows and what didn't. And how much did Leah know of these people? How did she know how much of their story was on the cutting room floor? She probably just came in, did the interviews. I'm assuming that's what it was like since I haven't seen it. And that was it. She probably didn't know. It was producers and people like that sat down with them and got the whole story first. That's just the way I think a production works. I could be wrong. She may have talked to them extensively before they went on the show. And I'm picturing Miriam the whole time because a bunch of her story got cut. And what parts got cut? Stuff that might make Osa or Mike Rinder in charge of Osa look bad. The cover up. If he would just come clean and said, yeah, I covered it up, it was my job, and then would testify for her when it goes to court or be a witness, so it would go to court because now it doesn't sound like it is, that's a different story. I get the willies. I really do. I mean, at best, hey, Lynn Garvey. Oh goodness. Yeah, my hubby works nights. That's rough. I couldn't do it. I worked nights for a week and it made me sick. I had to quit. My body just cannot do it.
It's not. Yeah, there's on the other side of the street.
And finally, when you know, everybody's kind of danced around the subject, kind of hinted and danced around because they didn't want to call Mike Rinder out directly right away because, you know, they were still, you know, they're dealing with their trauma and they're dealing with getting out. And even Aaron said, you know, people looked up to him because he got out and he was high in Scientology. And that's still kind of Scientology in their psyche, making them feel like that. And really, them kicking him off the Aftermath board was a total blessing for Aaron. It took the blinders off. It separated him from that group, and now he's seeing things for what they are. And when Nora called him out, somebody even asked her, you know, when did you start doubting Mike Rinder? And I think she said it on the show, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember. I watch so much stuff, I can't remember everything. Sometimes I do sit with a notebook and I write things down that I want to talk about because I have to or I'll forget. But when she recently called him out about it, straight out, I was like, yes, finally, yes. And then yesterday, and the other time he talked about it, but yesterday for real, he really called him out on the crap that he's pulled. I was like, yes, finally. They get it. We saw it because we're on the outside. We've never been in. So we kind of, I think some of us saw things for what they were a long time earlier, and I knew that, you know, Aaron tried to stay kind of, you know, kind of neutral on things. He called things out, you know, but, you know, he didn't call him out that you know, like, ooh, I don't know what the words is I'm trying to say. But now that he's shown his true colors and showed what, you know, that obviously has some sort of personal agenda, as either a personal agenda or someone else's agenda to either sabotage or skew cases and stories and anything anti-Scientology. Yeah, they've had enough. And I was like, I'm here for this because I've been looking sideways at him for a long time. I think a lot of us have. But I think that's something that we see being on the outside looking in. The people, I can't fault any second and third gens. I can't fault any of them for missing it. I can't fault any of them for not seeing things at first because they were right there on top of it. It's kind of like being on closest to the light. It's too bright, you can't see. But the farther out you go, the better you can see things. So I'm really interested to see what's going on. I really think the Aftermath Foundation needs a new board. And
Oh my goodness.
either Mike Rinder needs to come clean or he needs to stay out of it and quit acting like he needs to get off Child USA board. He needs to get off the Aftermath Foundation board, because first of all, the first thing I thought when I found out, see, at first I didn't even know what Mike Rinder had done in the church. Right, at first when I first started, and they were really starting to do those lives together on Fridays or Mondays or something, and that's how I found out who they were. I didn't know what he had done. It was a long time before I knew who he was and what he had done. So that was a lot of it too, is when I found out who he was and what he had done, and he's not pounding down the FBI's door. SPTVfoundation.org, ex-members, they'll help you. I mean, he should be sitting on the FBI's in their waiting room every day until somebody listens about the kids and about the cover-ups. And you know, I've said this several times in some chats, if he's worried about being in trouble legally, if he was willing to spill his guts about everything he knows, they would give him immunity. He could bring down that church. He could bring down this cult. He could bring down David Miscavige. He could shine a light on all of the abuse in Scientology. But he'd have to be willing to sit there and say, yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, he told me to cover this up. He told me to cover that up. He'd get a lot more respect that way, which he's not getting any right now. But it just goes to show you why SPTV and YouTube and TikTok and the protesters are a new animal. Because even he, Mr. Osa, can't do anything about it. There's too many of us. There's too many second and third gens, escapees. I'm sure there's first gens that have escaped. Ooh, I did not want to get wet. It's got a mind of its own, and it's because there's no leader. I mean, yeah, we have people. I mean, Aaron's encouraged a lot of people to start channels, but I've encouraged people to start channels. You know, people that are like, you know, I want to start doing this too. I'm like, do it. I never thought I could do it. I never thought in a million years I'd be standing here 3 times a week at least, talking to people on the street and live streaming. Never saw this in my future, but here I am. And I'm sure a lot of the Never Ends were like that. And maybe, I'm sure there's a lot of ex-members that never thought they'd be on live streaming and talking to people and telling their story. And then for the most part, except for the trolls, I hope that we're giving them a safe space to do that in. But you're always going to have trolls. I was on somebody's, last night, because I was jumping around different channels at Big Blue. Somebody was talking about the trolls, and I was like, I have fun with it, because they don't bother me. They don't know me. I'll probably never meet them in real life, nor do I care what their opinion is of me at all. So yeah, I put out the receipts of somebody calling me a liar, and after that I was done. He thinks I've read his posts. That's why they're still there, because I haven't. I read the first line, saw that it was nasty, and I'm not going to give him my time. And I've done that my whole life. Like if I'm commenting on a video, say somewhere, and somebody comes in and tries to argue with me and be nasty, I'll say something and leave and never go back. I can see the notifications that somebody commented on my comment, and I don't go in there. I am not curious at all to see what some idiot that's got nothing better to do than be hateful to go back and look what they said. I don't really care. I did the same thing with my sister. It's a big, huge story. She treated my mom badly when she was dying of cancer. And I knew when my mom died, this was 99, that I would never speak to her again because of it. And I never have. Because I'm not going to deal with it. Until she tried to say she was sorry, but she couldn't tell me what she was sorry for. I said, no, you, and I'm not going to tell her. I'm like, no, crying and saying you're sorry. She's got the same personality disorder that Amber Heard kind of had, the borderline personality disorder. I looked at narcissistic tendencies. There's a lot of that disorder that people don't know. Like, I looked through it and it's about, they already have a new target before the old target, they're done with them and stuff. And luckily I had dealt with another army wife that was like that one time in my 20s. So now I can see it and see crazy a mile away. And my sister showed up to visit. I'm 9 years older than her, so she was 8 years old, I think, when I moved out. So she came to stay with me, and well, I kind of knew then I probably wouldn't talk to her anymore, but when she treated my mom badly when she couldn't take care of herself, and I finally closed up my home daycare and I went up there to help her, and my sister's living there and not helping. Just an example. It was summer. I was taking my kids to my old church that I used to go to. They're like summer camp, day camp during the day. And then I was staying up all night. Every hour and a half I was waking up to give my mom her medications because she had gotten them all mixed up. And they weren't working very well. And it had been a few days that I couldn't, if I left, it was to go transport the kids, and that was it. My sister walks in, and I said, hey, can you sit here with Mom for 10 minutes? Because my mom couldn't even hold a glass of water. Can you sit here for 10 minutes while I go take a shower? She said, no, I'm busy. Went downstairs and went to sleep. So, there you go. And she's tried to contact me, and I'm like, no. My husband tried to say you should talk to her. I go, why? Just because we're related does not mean I need to have somebody like that in my life. If she wasn't related, you wouldn't be having this conversation. Just because you're related. So anyway, my point is, I learned over time, I wasn't always that good about it, but I've learned over time to be able to ignore idiots. Don't give them my time of day. And I know that's hard for other people. Everybody has different personalities and stuff. But that's my suggestion to anyone else out there. Yeah. Yeah. You can't choose who you're related to. And you know, she was like that as a kid. When she was, I was an only child till I was 9. And when she was about 2 maybe or less, she was still in diapers. Hi Diana, what's up? We'll probably stalk each other the rest of the day. Where I was sitting we were in a townhouse apartment. I was sitting on the couch and you could see the dining room table back in the kitchen from where I was sitting. My mom was sitting at the dining room table on the phone. She could see me. My sister from across the room, this kid's still in diapers. She goes, Kim, quit hitting me. I'm like, I am clear over here. My mom yelled at me and told me to quit hitting her when she could see me the whole time. I was like, yeah, okay. And that's pretty much the way it went. I renewed my stalking license, so all's good. All right, then. You're legal. Stalk away. I'll have to get mine. Oh, I don't know. I mentioned it the other day, but I went ahead and I got ordained online. I saw a lot of people were doing it. I just have to buy you don't have to pay for that part, and your email is supposed to be enough to say you're ordained. But I want to go ahead and get the package that you have like a pocket certificate you carry and a bigger certificate, and then they give you a marriage license and stuff. I don't really plan on doing that. unless somebody really wanted me to do it. But it's supposed to give us a First Amendment auditing should be enough. But just in case we get a jerk police officer or security guard, we can just use that as the second level of, well, here, then leave me alone. That's really the only reason I got it. I shouldn't need it. So how many other people stayed up too late last night watching everybody? Still waiting for someone to leave me a copy of Dynetics. I don't want to spend good money on it. Oh, don't. I ordered mine. I'm gonna try to come up with a spot in my craft room that I haven't been in there in years because of my back, and it's a mess. I need to go in there and clean up. But once I do, I'm gonna make a spot where I can live stream. It's just gonna be short, half hour tops. I didn't want to call it book club because I had thought about this in my head already, but then I heard Nora and someone was starting a book club to go over, but so I didn't really want to call it that. So we'll just say Dianetics Club or something like that, because that's the only book I'm going to go over. Hold on a second. I'm going to get my poncho out. I've never had this out. It's one of those thin emergency ponchos that I put in my backpack. Is there two of them in here? Good, one size. Oh, this must be the way it's folded. No, there's two in there. My husband probably did that. I think he stuffed two in the baggie. It's just one of these little thin ones. Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Can I? Ah!
Great
There
to
you
meet
go.
you. Have a lovely day.
All right. I just tried to do it. I can't do it. How'd it go?
With that shit.
I knew they were trolling. I could tell. All right. Wait a minute. Wow, this thing is thin. It's thinner than a trash bag. I don't think this is going to help me. Nah, I'm not putting this on because it's got short sleeves and really the only thing's getting wet is my arms. So I'm going to put this away for now. It covered my arms back there. Can't believe I got bird dew on my backpack. Okay. Share club. Okay, fun trivia. The mail order minister biz started during Prohibition because clergy were exempt from alcohol restrictions. Did not know that. Diana, guess what? We had a professional development day today with no students. Computer were down all day. Let's just say I could have got more done if I stayed home. Oh, the internet was down. Oh, I can understand that. I don't know if you were on here. Hi, Miss Kim. I'm off work, joining you live. Hey, Hitzel. Those guys are trippy. What? I don't know what they were wearing. What were they supposed to be? It was something Star Trek. It must be something in Star Trek I don't know anything about. But yeah, yeah, I didn't even think about coming up with a name. Dianetics discussion, I think, is all I was gonna say. And like I said, unless it's a short chapter and I can read the whole thing, I'll try to just kind of break down key points and what the synopsis of each chapter is. I don't even know what. It's a pretty thick paperback book, I have to say, because I couldn't get it in any other size, and it's a good thickness. So if it looks like it's too long and I can get through more than one chapter, I'll try. Until I get the book in the mail, I won't have a really good idea of where we're gonna go with it. But either way, that way I'm hoping. I've watched other people. Yeah, you could do that, Diana. Then you wouldn't have to. I bought it on eBay and it caught the paperback, and I was getting pre 2007 because I guess David Miscavige changed some things in 2007. Let's see if they follow her all the way out. Hi, ma'am. I'm just gonna be nice. Anyway, I got it for $7. I think that was price with shipping. I'm not sure. And there was an 86, an 87, and a 91 version. I can't remember which one I got. My husband wanted me to get the 87 version because that's the year I graduated, but it was pretty beat up. So I'm pretty sure I didn't get that one. So it was either the 86 or the 91 version, which should be the same. Now Reddit, when I was looking it up, I saw a Reddit post of the differences of what David Miscavige changed. If it's significant, then I may go over that too, what he changed. So, anyway, I was talking about, there was another Popcorn Planet that I watched, and they read like books like Brittany's sister's book, Spare. They read those books for us and talked about it, so we didn't have to. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, just to give you guys that are curious like me, you know, why did this get so many people involved when so many people say it's gobbledygook or confusing or babbling? What did it say that got all these people in the 60s, 70s into Scientology? That's my curiosity. I don't really care what LRH has to say. I really don't. But I'm curious as to why all these people, you know, they're I thought they've always sold the book. But then, you know, in watching people's channels, it was somebody said, no, they're given another push to sell the Dianetics books. I almost, if they were selling it for $10 or less at the table, I was going to walk up and buy one from them just to freak them out. And then close them down. So I was like, nah, I just couldn't bring myself to give them my money. I bought it used. Those guys are standing on the street. Oh, they're waiting for friends. So weird. I love Star Trek, by the way. I'm a geek. I'm a total nerd. I played Dungeons and Dragons in high school a little bit, and I could find people to play. But only a handful of times because I lived in a small town. Yeah, I thought you were here earlier, Hitzel. One of the others talked about us, I'm not going to say when, that we were going to try to come all at the same time. Are we still planning that? I know I should have checked my email, but I didn't. I'm really bad about checking my email. When I'm off, like the days between protesting, sometimes I'm off. Although yesterday I spent a lot of time on I got my laptop out and I sat and I was just, all I wanted to do was edit my videos. All I wanted to do was clip out sections of like when I'm talking to somebody and put that on as a shorter version so people don't have to watch my whole live stream. And all I could find videos on was YouTube Studio Edit, where you can trim. Well, trim is you take the beginning and the end of your video out. And that's it. I'm like, no, I want to cut a section out, which I have done on my phone. There's an app on my phone. That's how I did. I cut out the time the cops came. So, but the thing is, it's really hard to get. Like, if I want to pinpoint, like, 45 minutes and 32 seconds, it wants to jump to 45 seconds, or I can't get it right on the dot. So I watched video after video after video on editing live stream videos, and all they wanted to talk about was either clips that 60 seconds long. I'm back here talking with my hands and hitting my I'll turn it around for a minute, 'cause I talk with my hands and I'm always hitting the tripod. So all I want to talk about is, okay, when I say how to clip a live stream, they talk about 60-second clips. I'm like, Or edit a live stream, YouTube live stream. They're like, oh, go to editor in YouTube Studio and trim. I want to trim. And in YouTube Studio, if you edit, it doesn't save the original. When I did it on the app, I had to upload my video, or I had to download it to the phone, then move it into the app and, cut out what I wanted. It was actually pretty easy to understand. So my original was saved, but if I go into YouTube editor, it doesn't save the original. I kept asking that question. And so I finally just said, all right, forget it. And I just looked up 5 best apps to edit live streams. So I found, or software, because I was on the laptop. So the last thing I finally did was I downloaded some software, free software, because I want to know I can work it before I pay for anything better. I got it downloaded, and then I was tired. Because I really want to get my live streams. I want to go in and find key good parts where I'm talking to people or something like that. And I want to cut those out and put them on the channel for people that don't want to watch 2 hours. I know there's a lot of times I don't want to watch 2 hours. So I don't blame anybody that just wants to pop in and out. Oh, they're coming back. Why does it? I have to hit this twice for some reason for it to go turn around. So those were the young men that went inside. Oh. You know what gets me is, now you can't tell me that they don't either A, have somebody watching the side of the building, or B, are watching cameras. Because when a public comes up, they're ready at the door. Unless they're calling them. If it wasn't raining, I was going to go set up by the door, by the corner. So my original plan was to set up at the corner and watch them come up the side so we'd have more video. And then I heard Aaron say that they've told them not to wear their Sea Org rank pins. I still think gold vests are Sea Org, at least here. I don't know who the all black are, but then I saw people in black suits and white shirts. I think those were staff. And I was asking Aaron what they were in all black, and they looked like the ones that were setting up the day of the opening. And I really got a good view of them today because I was a little bit closer. So at the beginning, take a look at that and see if you think they're in trouble, because they had to staff this place, right? So why couldn't they just go to the ones in trouble, the Sea Org in trouble, or whatever, what we would call the RPF? We don't know what they call it now. We know they still have it. And they made them come here as punishment. They do watch cameras. They wait for the public in the side door and call them in. Because they're still coming around to the front some. Yeah, I wondered that too, because I know they've got the door in the alley, and they've got a side door too. And that was another reason I wanted to set up on the side, because I want to see if they are bringing people in. So next time I'm here, it's not raining, I'm going to do that. I'm trying to pull the J and the other people. See, you see how far back I am? That's because I'm under the tree today. I am trying to get a little bit closer because at Chicago and other places, the sidewalk is much smaller, so you have an excuse to be a lot closer. But the problem here is the walkway is right in front. Then you've got where I'm standing in this line, and back, nobody really walks back here unless they want to get around me. So if I were to be up there, they might try to get me for crowding because it's such a big sidewalk. Ooh, it's not misting anymore. It's dry. Ooh, the door's loose. SPTVFoundation.org. It was created by ex-members and people who were never in that care and want to help those escaping. Even if you're under the radar, give them a call. They may help you connect with loved ones, at the very least. As we heard, they're allowed to have, they sneak them in the side door in Portland all the time. Lisa. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm seeing people come to the front because they have this side door back here. Except that I can see why him and the lady with the walker, it's upstairs. It's some metal stairs to a metal landing. And then in the back, it's stairs. So there's probably some people, that may be why SPTVFoundation.org, give them a call. Now see, that guy was wearing a white shirt and a jacket. I think that's staff. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't have any concrete information on that. I saw a pin, but I couldn't tell what. But yeah, I could see, maybe that's why we're seeing the really, really older people come in the front. Because I just thought that's all they had. But maybe the people that can handle stairs are going in the side. And the elderly are having to come around the front. But see, that guy was staff. Why did he come in the front? So, you know, it might depend on the day. It might be because it's raining and the steps are slippery too. But yeah, I gotta go back and watch other stuff going on in LA right now. Oh, I hate it when the wind just hit the tree and shook all the water out of the tree on me. That was fun. It's okay. It's a lot cooler than I expected. It said, when I checked yesterday, it said it was going to be 81. I'm like, okay, it's raining and it's 81. That means it's muggy as crap. It's not. It's kind of chilly today. Yeah, next time, I'm going to set up over there. I do it now, but I'm kind of sheltering under this tree. Not that it's helping much. It is helping a little, except when it shakes all the water out of the tree. I had this dog we had just got from the shelter, and he was a Cairn Terrier. He's still part of the family. He went with my son who needed an emotional support dog, and they loved each other. And he was such a loner. He was always off on his own that I'm like, you know what? He would be great as an apartment dog. Well, my son's about to go to school for 2 years. We're going to get him back. Anyway, the first couple of days it had rained, and he was outside losing his mind at the trees, and he goes after everything. He's a little hunter. And I went out there and I'm like, I'm trying to get him to come in. He kept running away from me. I was trying to grab him. He's only about 20 pounds. Finally, I realized at 4 o'clock in the morning, after he's probably annoyed all of my neighbors, he was barking at the water on the rain on the leaves. It was drizzling. That's what he was barking at. He thought there was things in the trees. I'm like, dog, haven't you ever been near a wet tree before? I hope the Scientologists memorize the phone number for SBTV. Yeah, I can't even memorize it. That's why I just throw out the .org. So I figured if they can remember that, they can go to the website. I'm bad at remembering phone numbers. But like I said, whenever my husband worked on my sign some yesterday, he still, the biggest issue isn't once he gets the pull to fit, then it's done. It's almost done. I mean, it's just trying to get the PVC pipe to fit over the tripod we bought at the thrift store, and that's the problem when you go for cheap.
No, but it was just this trunk is open.
I'm a little tired today, so I'm kind of zoning a little bit again. I've got to get more sleep. These dogs are on such a weird schedule because I'm on a weird schedule, because my husband's on a weird schedule. So they don't think twice about waking me up at 3 or 5 in the morning to go outside. Or 3 and 5. And when it's wet, you have to wipe them off when they come in. But I hope my big dog's okay. We just had a bunch of tests run, a wellness check on her because she was looking underweight and we couldn't understand why. She's been on the same food, same exercise level, everything. And about 2 months ago, we noticed she was losing weight. So they're checking everything, make sure she's okay. And we upped her food. But we think we're going to go back down just a little bit because we think we're giving her too much. She doesn't chew. She inhales it. Or we're going to feed her 3 times a day so she's not inhaling so much. David Miscavige drives a Bentley. It costs $240,000. He has a $50 million office building where he lives at Intbait. Marble floors. Handmade Italian shoes, while you guys make either 50 a week in Sea Org or 200 a week with staff. Make that make sense. Yeah, Princess, I had looked at them. They were in my cart on Chewy. And I need to just go ahead and get it. It wasn't, when we were feeding her a little bit less, it wasn't creating a problem, but now that we're feeding her more, she needs to slow down. My middle dog, they're all about the same age actually. Funny, but I go by size. Like, we called Tiny Man. We got him in August. Now he's shorter than my Petunia, but he weighs more than Petunia, but we called him Tiny anyway. I call him Tiny Man because he's the only boy. But she's longer and taller, but skinnier. She has she's one of those dogs that takes food out, lays it on the floor, and then eats pieces. So like, she's losing weight while she's eating because she's working at it. So, and Tiny Man needs to lose weight. We've got him on weight management food. So we got one we had to feed more that was losing weight. We've got one that needs to lose weight, is on different food. Princess. I actually have one dog got a reluctant eater and has made him more interested in eating. Oh. Yeah, they learn from each other, for sure. Well, I think I'm going to cut it here, mainly because of the rain. I still have the lightning in the back of my head, so I just kind of, hey, what's up? Yeah. I'm live. I'm about to close up. All right. Yeah. I was here. There's kids going in. SPTVFoundation.org. You guys need to give them a call. Oh, it made me sick. I think I've seen those kids before. I've seen her before. I know. I know. No supervision. Yeah. I know I've seen her before. I don't remember if I saw him. Alright, y'all. I'm going to cut it here. 'Cause I don't know what the weather's going to be like on the way home. But I should be out sometime this weekend. Thanks. Oh. And there's a lot of people visiting LA. Go have a watch and see what they're up to. Is there anybody live right now? Go have a look at what's going on in bye Carrie. Going on in LA. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. I'll probably be watching something on the way home. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you sometime this weekend. Peace out.